to Pub Talk.
Well, Switchbacks fans and, well, football fans in general, or soccer fans if you're in America, yeah, it's Pub Talk, episode 5 here at Jack Quinn's, and I'm with the wonderful Christian Herrera. Have I pronounced your name correctly?
Yeah. Christian Herrera, but Herrera is the way to say it in English.
This is very important, okay? Pronunciation is important. Teach me.
It's a R, so Herrera, or Herrera.
Herrera.
There you go.
Herrera. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So, I need to ask, where did that originate from?
It's, I think, originated in Spain.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from Mexican origin, so obviously, it's from there, but I think it originates in Spain if you go far back enough.
Through this journey, through this road of soccer, how's it been for you? How has it been from day one, from discovering football and soccer?
It's a long journey. It's a long, beautiful journey.
We've got time, all right?
Yeah. No, I think I've played soccer my whole life. It's my first love. I think when I was 8 years old, I probably started playing on the first competitive team. Yeah. And the funny part is I always wanted to play keeper.
Really?
Even before I was in goal, because they have the smaller goals, like U8, you're not using goalies yet. The ball would be in the air and I would grab it with my hands, and the coaches would get mad at me and they'd say, "What are you doing? What are you grabbing with your hands?" And I would just be like, "Oh, sorry," put it back down, and then later in the game do it again. And so it was always I don't know why, I love soccer. I love grabbing with my hands.
Yeah.
And as I got older, my story of how I decided okay, goalkeeping is that's what I want to do. Is I must have been 11 years old and I was just home watching a game. And it was Club America versus Santos game. Okay. And Memo Ochoa was the goalie for Club America at the time. And they get a free kick, and Santos gets a free kick, and it's going top bins, and Ochoa just flies in the air. I mean, his whole body's just flying. And I remember seeing that, and I remember just energy just taking me over, and I just ran outside and just looking at the sky and just being that's it. That's what I'm gonna do.
That was an influence straight away.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna make sure that's me. I'm gonna make sure that's what I do. Wow. And from that moment, it was really just a decision. Yeah. It was that's
that split decision there, was that it?
Yeah, that was it. I'm not doing anything else. That's my life. And so I started there, and I think obviously growing up, I grew up I say very poor, and so I was looking for something. Every kid has a dream of buying their mom a house or providing, and so for me it was okay, I could be a professional soccer player, and then I just found I'm completely in love with it. It just makes sense. That's what I have to do, and so that was in that moment I made it a lifelong commitment to become the best goalie I could become.
Where were you born?
Exactly. Las Cruces, New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yeah.
What was it like during your childhood, growing up with soccer and the facilities, equipment? Even down to your cleats and everything like that. What was it like? I played on grass.
Yeah.
And we played on rain, mud, everything. Trust me, it was we played in all weathers, all facilities, gravel. Yeah. Balls that haven't been pumped up. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Now, I think it's seems perfect now, doesn't it? Yeah. What was it like back for you?
For me, Las Cruces is a really small town, and when I was growing up, there wasn't nobody really made it out of Las Cruces as a professional soccer player, even a college soccer player. There was 2 people that I think mostly everybody in town knew of and looked up to, and it was Freddie Juarez, who's the assistant coach at Seattle Sounders right now, and it was Edgar Castillo that we looked up and they did it. They're pros and they're from our city.
Yeah.
And so there was that. It was a big dream. In terms of the facilities, we had no facilities. There was no. There was a local fields, but they're just beat up grass fields. We had, my brothers and I would go to what's called the cages a lot, and it was just a tennis court, and just one half of the court you would do 5v5, and it would be every Friday, which blows my mind because I was so young and I didn't think about it back then, but every Friday from like 6 to like 12 o'clock, there'd be a tournament. Like all ages, well, not all ages, it was adults, like teenagers and up, and $3 per player, and winner took all. And
Genius.
Yeah, and so we would go play that like all the time, or on Fridays. But I mean, for me, it was just like play as much as you can. Like I don't know why it clicked in my head. Like the more you play, the more you work, the more you train, like the better you'll be. So I would just try to just find like opportunities to play, and it was a blessing in disguise. So like I'll tell you a story. My mom, she would clean houses, clean clinics, and sometimes she would. I would get dropped off at training, or my coach would take me to training, and she wouldn't be able to pick me up on time because she had to finish working, and so all the kids would be gone, and I would just be there sitting at the university field, like waiting to get picked up. And I'm talking about it'd be like an hour and a half before she could come for me because she's working. And at some point I was just like, hey, what if I trained? Or like, what if I started running? Or what if I just started like, just training? Like I could add up like 6 or 7 hours more than everyone else. And then if you just do the math, like you're just training so much more, and it makes sense. You're gonna get better. And so it was a blessing that she couldn't come for me on time, because it clicked in my head like, okay, use this time to get better. And I mean, there's a lot of other stories where it's just that it's me just being like, okay, train as much as you can. Train.
I mean, it's true that you put as much effort in as you can to visualize and manifest as well where you want to be.
Yeah,
it's huge. I need to ask. I'm just going to ask straight. Well, what makes a good goalkeeper? What is it? I mean, do you feel like you're still learning? Do you feel like you're still trying to get to a point of betterness as well? Do you know what I mean? I mean, you're an outstanding keeper now. You really are. But what do you think makes a goalkeeper? What is it? Because it's a really unique position.
Yeah.
Individual. I even put it out there, it's a bit lonely.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, it's not like one thing. I mean, obviously, I think for a keeper, you have to be brave.
Yeah.
You have to have personality, because at the end of the day, you're the guy back there that's responsible for making sure the ball doesn't go in. And when the ball goes in, it's on you. Whether it's an upper 90 shot or whether it's a tap in, like you're the guy that was put there for that job. You know, you have defenders further up the field to defend there. You're back here, and it's your job to defend the goal. So for me, I like to really embrace that and say, like, you're in charge back here. And no matter what goes in, like, it's on you. Like, you should have. It went through 10 other guys before it got to you. And so you had all that time to really prepare yourself. And if you didn't make it, if you didn't make the save, you had to, really figure out why. But I think what I've learned over the years, this is, I started when I was 18. And so this is my 8th or my 9th season. And I think you have to find what works for you as an individual keeper. I think sometimes, and especially in this age where we have social media, and you can go and see all these different keepers doing all these different things, and it's amazing. But at the end of the day, you have to figure out specifically what it is that you need to work on day in and day out to really feel comfortable in your bubble. And for me, it's become like a really specific thing. Like I tell my goalie coach, Callie, it's like we have like a whole toolbox that we could pull from, and that I know, okay, if I'm struggling to dive here to this side, I have 2 or 3 exercises, 2 or 3 drills that I know if I work on these, I'm going to improve right away. And so it's kind of building yourself up, learning from all your experiences and saying, okay, this is what works for me, now I need to replicate it. That's on the field. You have the mental aspect, you have the physical aspect, where how can you manage to get yourself ready day after day, game after game, stay healthy, and also just on the mental part and kind of even spiritual part is stay motivated to go in day after day to train at the highest possible level. Because it's not just about playing good on Saturday. Saturday is just an extension of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you did the work then, more than likely you're going to do well on Saturday. So it's like the name of the game is finding ways to show up day after day to train at the highest possible level, whether it's diet, routines, recovery routines, specific things you do on the field, whatever you need to do to check out to make sure you're fresh. So it's like a lot of, it's a loaded thing because it's so much that goes into it.
Yeah, and being between the sticks as well, I think you got one of the best games on the best views on the field as well, because you see everything. Obviously you got the 10 men in front of you, and you're seeing all positions Communication's key as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if that communication drops within that 90 minutes, it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially if you've got pressure against you as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who do you look at? Who do you kind of follow? Who do you inspire to kind of get that inspiration as a goalkeeper? Because you mentioned about reading as well, and I looked on your Instagram. You read Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
I saw that. You're reading his autobiography as well.
Yeah.
But then there were all different genres. There are a picture on your social media. Is that something you do as well? Do you really research?
Yeah.
Your position and your role?
Yeah. Well, for me, early on in my career, I wasn't playing a lot. And so, I mean, I think my first year I must have played like 3 or 4 games. Mm-hmm. Second year, no games. And third year, same. I wasn't getting a lot of minutes. And I think I had to do a lot of reflection and say, like, is this really what I want to do? Because, you know, I came out of an academy, like a top program, expecting I'm going to sign pro and it's going to be the same as an academy, but you come into it and it's a completely different ballgame. There's nobody taking care of you. You're getting paid. You have to take care of yourself, and you have to go perform. And it was things that I wasn't necessarily prepared for. But in those first couple of years, I really had to take a look at myself and be like, okay, you're not playing, but you still need to find a way to make sure you're growing and learning. And so, and I know I knew from a young age, from academy days, that I wanted to coach after I was done playing. I had some like amazing coaches. I was blessed to have some really good coaches that started teaching me the game from a tactical point of view. And so I think those first years, I kind of committed to every day watching like 2 games a day, 2 full games. And I would pick a manager and I would just study them. And I would be in a coffee shop for like 5 or 6 hours, just pause, play, write things down. And I had resources to call, so I'd call coaches and be like, hey, what do you think about this? And they'd give me different ideas. So I think the first 5 years of my career, I probably watched like 8,000 games just studying.
But isn't that important now?
Yeah, of course.
Kids these days, the amount of kids, I used to coach many, many years ago, okay, in America, and not one kid on that team watched the game.
Yeah.
I was like, watch your craft.
Yeah, you have to.
Watch the Premiership, watch any league, and pick a player and watch them.
Yeah.
Pick a player and watch them. And how much you learn from watching is so important. Yeah. And it's the same if you're a musician, if you're a TV host as well. I watch, I learn. You're only as good as your last game or your last gig, etc. And that's what it is. And it's vitally important. I need to ask, is height relevant as a goalkeeper? And this is not like a trick question. Do you think it's relevant?
No, of course. I mean, it's not to say that smaller goalies can't play goalie. Yeah. I'm bigger, and so I cover a lot more space.
How tall are you?
6'7".
Let's have a little stand next to me. Stand next to me. I mean, I'm a 5'11", but it's a small 5'11". Oh, look at that. Have you always been tall? Have you always been like?
Yeah. Always been the tall kid in the bunch.
Absolutely solid.
Yeah.
So because we've got a goalkeeper back in England called Jordan Pickford. He's not very tall, is he? Really?
Yeah.
But he's quick.
Yeah.
He's quick, and he's very, very, very sharp as well. But I think you, especially when you see you and go, it's a very you've got a trustworthy environment there between them sticks you have.
Yeah.
I mean, very trusting. I feel like you play with a lot of confidence as well.
Yeah.
And you're always trying to keep that clean sheet.
Yeah.
And you're so pissed off when you let that one in, aren't you?
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah. No, like I said, I'm the one there to make sure the ball doesn't go in. Yeah. And so when it goes in, I'm like, okay, you should have been there. Yeah. It's not an emotional thing. You get scored on, you have to forget about it right away.
Absolutely.
You know, but obviously when you're looking back at it, you say, oh, okay, I need to make sure that I'm in a better spot next time. No matter what, no matter if it's a tap in or an upper 90, I'm the one responsible for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And are these the famous Christian Herrera gloves?
These are one of them that I wear. Yeah, these are, you can check them out. They're
how big are your hands? Look at that.
Yeah, pretty big, big.
Are these brand new?
No, these aren't brand new. These aren't brand new. They're pretty new, but not brand new. But yeah, they're shout out to my sponsor, West Coast, best glove brand in the country, even in the Premier League.
No, I love it. You don't wear like, so, and this, tell me if I'm wrong. So these are your hands straight away underneath your gloves. You don't put any thinner underneath, any like bandages or anything underneath?
No, I have tape. I tape my fingers. Yeah.
Why is that?
It's just to protect the fingers. I mean, the guys hit the ball at a really fast pace, even in training. To train at the highest level, they're hitting the ball hard. So, I mean, just to protect the fingers is really the only reason you tape them. Yeah.
It's outstanding, that. It really is. A nice looking glove, though.
Yeah.
I used to wear gardening gloves when I was younger.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my parents couldn't afford goalie gloves, yeah. But it is. And I always fancied going in goal as well. And I did goalkeeper training and stuff. And then my mum said, you're going to have to stop.
Yeah.
Because I'm a piano player.
Okay.
Play the piano. She didn't want me to hurt my little fingers, you see. Yeah. Then I started playing rugby. You know, have you heard of rugby?
I've heard of it. I've never played it.
Yeah, I broke 3 fingers, didn't I? So that was it. I was out for that. So yeah, now I just stuck to playing the piano. I still play outfield now and again.
Yeah.
Ask Hoagie.
Yeah.
Oh, ask Alan. Alan will tell you. Big year coming up, obviously. Well, this year, obviously, Switchbacks playoffs. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, we won't talk any more about that. Okay, but fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Okay. Season's been going awesome. It really has. How's it been in the camp for you from a goalkeeping perspective? All right, and obviously working with Chamber as well.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, it's been another year full of learning. I think last year, when I got a decent run of games, I was thinking, wow, you're learning so much. Like every week, I'm pulling lessons, you know, and being able to apply them in the next game. And then this year, I kind of midway through the season, I was like, wow, you're learning even more. Just, you know, playing game after game, especially, you know, the start that we had, which was a tough start, and just figuring out ways to be like, okay, it's only 5 games. If you lose 5 games, you know, midway to the season when you've won 10, it's not going to be the end of the world. So it's not the end of the world now. So I think it was real interesting for me, you know, learning how to keep that perspective and still just trusting, like, hey, at some point this will turn. Obviously, we have to maybe address a couple things here and there, but if you have the right mentality, this will turn at some point. And working with Chambo, I think I love it. I mean, I've been with Chambo this is my 3rd year. You know, he was the assistant the first year. And I remember Chambo sometimes warming me up. Chambo and Al, I remember like...
I bet that was fun, wasn't it? Did you understand him? I bet you were like that. What are you saying?
Yeah, so especially even Al, like I remember days where he would have to warm me up because we didn't have a goalie coach at that period in time. And so the relationship I have with them, it's a lot closer, and there's a little more trust, you know, just because I've been with them so long. But seeing Chambo throughout the year, even grow as a coach, game after game, or you know, after like a period of 5 games, seeing him be able to like pull from previous experiences and really bring the group together and really give the group perspective has been, you know, for me, like to watch it. I've been watching and learning and like copying things for, you know, at some point I want to coach. Here now I have this example, you know.
And you're learning, and you're learning, and you're learning. Yeah. Do you see, obviously, say if the team get a winning, you get 3 points, and you keep a clean sheet, is that like a personal 3 points for you?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't get scored on, I think you did your job. But I think for myself, and I think for the whole team, I think we have a commitment to excellence where it's, I mean, maybe you win 3-0, but maybe we struggled in some moments. You know, maybe we could have won 6-0. Or maybe for myself, I struggled with some passes, or there were some moments that were iffy, where I don't come off the game saying, "Oh, that was a perfect game." Yeah, for me, I'm committed to excellence, and I need to look, you know, every game. What could I have done better? And then right away see, okay, what I need to do this week to make sure that next week I make different mistakes. Because every game there's going to be a mistake, but it's really about, you know, making different mistakes, not the same mistakes. You know. Yeah. I've
absolutely loved sitting down with you, from an aspect of a goalkeeper and learning about probably the psychological side of being a goalkeeper as well. I just find it fascinating. I really do. And there's a big, obviously, 2026 World Cup's coming to America and Mexico as well. I mean, again, it's going to really bring football on the map even more in this country, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you remember the 1994 World Cup.
I don't.
You probably.
I don't think I was born yet.
No, I don't think you were born, were you? But again, that kind of elevated the game. But I think now, in the next 2 years, when World Cup comes again here, I think it's just going to go.
Yeah. And even, I mean,
more popular, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've been in the USL for 8 years, I think. And the level from when I started to now, I mean, it's night and day. Like every year I go out there and I'm like, wow, this we didn't have this type of player in previous years. Like this league has really progressed, you know, where center backs can pass the ball, outside backs, like they can go forward and they can defend, midfielders can move the ball, and you got some really good attackers where you go out there and you say, wow, that's high quality.
Yeah.
You know, when in the past, like remember when I started, I was like, maybe not so much, you know. So it's grown a lot. It's sharper though as well.
Sharper. It's faster. Especially Switchbacks.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of that's from Chamber and Al, and even when Hoagie was there, and even Brennan back in the day as well. But the sharpness and the high press that we do as well.
Yeah.
It's fast.
Yeah.
It's got faster and it's getting faster.
Yeah.
And it is awesome. And I've always been a fan of yours. So I'm just putting it out. I'm like fanboying. I am fanboying. But yeah, listen, we're going to finish off with quick fire 10 questions. Okay. I always give anyone on this show.
All right.
All right. I called it a show. Wow. There you go. It is a show. But I've kept the questions kind of the same this season. All right. Because I don't want to change. I like to hear different answers, and fans do as well. Okay. All right. What do you miss about home when you're away?
Mom's food.
Oh my gosh. Just one dish. Give me one dish.
Her green enchiladas.
Oh my gosh, seriously. I know, that's a really good answer.
Yeah.
Breakfast or lunch?
Breakfast. Big breakfast guy.
Cool. Savoury or sweet on that? Do you like the?
Savoury.
Okay, all right, okay. Spice or no spice?
Spice.
Good. Favourite holiday destination?
Favourite holiday? New Mexico. I love spending time with family.
Do you? How often do you try to get back if you can? Obviously, season's hard, isn't it? But
yeah, I mean, as often as I can. Every time we have like a 3 or 4 day break, I try to get down there.
It's not far, is it really?
No, it's not.
I mean, yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. If money was no object, Christian, where would you like to live?
San Diego.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Perfectly. Or New York, New York City. Perfectly.
Isn't that different, aren't they? San Diego and New York?
I mean, I love both those places.
All right, okay. Well, maybe just have a house there and have a house there.
There you go.
That'd be one, right. Favourite film?
Favorite film? This one's gonna be funny. The Big Lebowski.
Oh my God, how good is that? Have you been to the Big Lebowski themed bar?
No.
In Colorado Springs?
No, I haven't.
It's called Lebowski's. Yeah, it's called Lebowski's.
Okay,
you need to go after season.
Yeah.
And have a few drinks, okay? And go up there and tell them Nova sent you.
All right, I'll tell them.
So they've got the White Russian and everything, the temping bowling balls and everything. It's so good. It's so good. What are you listening to at the moment? And it doesn't have to be music. Hoagie referenced that. It doesn't have to be music.
Yeah.
Because you don't like music. Why don't Hoagie like music? I don't get it. Yeah.
I'm listening to a podcast. It's the Martyr Made podcast, and I'm listening to a series related to a Israel-Palestine issue. It's a 7-part series. It's like 4 hours per episode.
That's deep, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a big history lesson, and I just trying to educate myself on the issue. So that's what I've been listening to. I think it's been like 3 weeks now.
You love learning, don't you?
Yeah.
You just love it. And before a game, how do you obviously get? I've never asked a goalkeeper this specifically. How do you get in that zone personally? Because I know sometimes it's like dressing room, you got speaker blasting out with and all that stuff. Yeah. But how do you personally get in that zone? Are you listening to something? What is it?
No, my game day routine starts the day before or 2 days before. Yeah, it's just like a routine that I have set that it's like, meals are at the exact time, stretching sessions are at the exact time, rest periods are at the exact time, and then...
Sleep's important, isn't it?
Of course, sleep, yeah, and then, a lot of self-talk, just kind of flooding myself with a lot of self-talk, maybe like 4 hours before the game, and film, and then by the time I get to the stadium, I'm locked in, I'm ready. There's nothing, I don't have to listen to anything, I don't have to do anything, I'm ready.
What's your pre-match meal?
Rice, chicken, spinach, and avocado.
And it's always that?
Pretty much.
How many hours before?
4 hours.
That's on point, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then after?
After it's pretty much the same meal. It'll be like rice, chicken,
And just decompress?
Yeah, and after the games I lift. This year, it was another thing that I've learned this year. The first 5 games we were really, really struggling, and I was getting, after the games, I had to be like really, really, angry and emotional. Yeah. And so I'd say, if I stay in the locker room, I'm gonna, I might say something to somebody and it's unnecessary. And so I would just go into the gym and start just getting an angry lift. And then so I did that, and then I realized like, hey, I'm not getting as injured as I was last year. And I was like, the only thing I'm doing now is lifting after games, and I'm feeling a lot better after games.
After a game, you do a lifting?
Yeah, and it just sets me up for the rest of the week. Like, it makes me less injury prone, it relaxes my mind, and so I'm able to kind of decompress through it.
I'm learning so much. I hope you're learning stuff at home as well. This is amazing. Right, apart from being a soccer player, what job would you have liked to do?
Be a writer.
I knew something like that would come in. Yeah. What kind of genre though? What kind of?
Fiction.
Fiction? Yeah. All right. Have you got any ideas in there? in the pipeline?
Yeah, I'm working on them.
Are you?
Yeah.
Pub Talk exclusive here. We've got. I'll come to your book signing.
All right, perfect.
Or we'll do like a little audience with.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Can you cook?
Yeah, I can cook.
All right. Okay. Go on. Give us a bit of speciality.
I mean, I could make a really good rice, like a Spanish rice.
Well, like paella. Did I pronounce that right? It's paella, isn't it? Paella. Yeah, paella. Or the jambalaya.
Yeah. So it's just simple rice, simple Spanish rice, but I can make it really, really good.
All right, nice.
I mean, just the rest of it is just in general chicken, steaks, but I would say I can cook.
Okay, 3 people you want around that table to taste your rice.
My mom.
Yeah.
I'll say Stevie, because he loves Stevie Echevarria.
Has he tried your rice already?
Oh yeah.
Has it?
Yeah, he loves it.
I'll have to get some of your rice.
Yeah. And I would like my grandma too, because Mom says I make my rice and it tastes like my grandma's. So.
Isn't that a nice compliment?
Yeah, that's a big compliment.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And you got one more. Oh yeah, that's your mum's grandma. All right, Steve. Okay, perfect. Right, last question. You're on a flight. Okay. You're on the window seat, but the middle seat's open. Okay. And the door's about to close, but one person comes on. Who do you want that person to be?
I'm kind of religious. So I would say Jesus Christ.
Wow. Okay.
I would love to have a conversation with him and just pick his brain about just life in general. Just get advice from him. So for me, it would be Jesus. Just have a conversation with him.
Would you say, why you were, where have you been? The flight's delayed now, Jesus. Would you say that to what's happening?
Explain it to me.
Explain it.
Run it by me, yeah.
Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Sorry about you. It's all good. Anything, I mean, this season's been awesome. I think you've got a really great connection. I mean, all players have got great connection with the fans, but you especially as well, especially being very close to him behind the goal, after the game, etc. Is there anything you want to say to him this season? I mean, the support has been fantastic, but from your perspective? Yeah,
no, I would say, first of all, thank you guys. I really, really feel the support. Every time I step into the goal, I know that I have almost like the 12th man behind me. Like it really, it energizes me, and it gives me that extra edge to want to do even better for them, because I think I've had a lot of ups and downs, especially last year, and I mean even this year, but the fans, they've always supported me. And so for me, it's probably the first club that I could really say, I really, really care for this club. I really care for the fan base. I want to do good because I want to make them happy. I want to put smiles on their faces. So yeah, no, thank you, and keep supporting us. I think we're gonna, fingers crossed like we said, but I think we can do it. I think we can make a run for the championship.
It's been an absolute pleasure sitting
here. Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
It really has. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, and the fans are going to look after you all the way, all right? All right, the 12th man you're watching, all right? He loves you. We all love you.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. Best of luck,
yeah.
Obviously, with the playoffs. Yeah. And it's been Christian Herrera. Did I do it? Please.
That was perfect.
It's perfect. It's been another episode of Pub Talk here at Jack Wins, and we'll be back with more very soon.